All right, so this is going to be a reading for Leo. And for the Leo that I'm talking to here today, there is something that comes up in your energy that you were working towards, you were very excited about, the momentum was there, the physical material energy was there, it was all there. And then it's like you got a little inkling or a hunch, or you received some type of realization, some type of information where all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, like this isn't working, or there's something painful about this situation, and it came to a close. Now, you may have brought it to an end, or there could have been external factors that kind of brought this to an end. But whatever it is, it kind of came to a close, and it comes through as quite painful because you had put quite a bit of yourself into this. Um, in the recent past, I'm seeing that you had a lot of confidence around this. There was this feeling of like, yeah, this is great, this is stable, I can put my energy into this, a lot of happiness. Everything looks good there in the past. And you look very confident of like, yes, this is really, really good. Um, but then but then something shifted and it has to do with other people, maybe other energies, and it's like all of a sudden there's this really like toxic negative sort of energy that shows up, and I don't necessarily see it being your energy, but I also don't necessarily see it being one other person's energy. It's kind of just like an energy that exists. And for some of you, this could have to do with a group of people or like an extended network of people. For others of you, it's going to be more of like a family situation. But I just see multiple energies involved, and something about the way they come together just like does not work fundamentally. And it may create some type of toxic sort of cycle. Ultimately, I see you realizing that, cutting it off. You may be kind of connected to one person within this network or something like that, and you kind of decide, like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And as soon as you do that, it kind of frees up your energy a lot more. And I see you kind of just kind of moving forward and moving on to new beginnings and being like, you know what, it's okay. What happened, happened. Things happen. I'm just going to move forward from here. Okay. So I am going to dive more into these energies, but before I do, Leo, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving the reading. If you would like to contribute your energy to the reading so that I can manifest messages that align more with you, you can like and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings. You can email me down below in the description box and we can set up a personal reading. But let's get into it, Leo. So your oracle cards today are isolation, the dream, and silence, which is an interesting combination, and I see it really gesturing to you going within on a pretty spiritual, personal level, and kind of having to silence the other voices around you or the other energies and just focus on your own energy. And especially if this is like a group dynamic, there just seems to be a lot of energetic chatter around you that might have pulled you away from yourself and your own intuition or what's going to work best for you. And in order to kind of understand, excuse me, understand yourself more and understand what it is that you want for yourself, that you need to do, it's, I see you kind of going within and silencing what's going on outside of you in order to kind of recenter there. And this definitely has to do with you understanding like what it is that you want for yourself, what it is that you want to experience. So let's dive into this situation. Like I said in the recent past, it looks like pretty solid. It looks like you felt really good about it. You probably felt really supported. You also may have felt like this is everything that I wanted with the Ten of Cups. Like, couldn't be happier. Everything's great. I want to see what that is for you, that Ten of Cups. I'm seeing you connecting with other people and working on something with them, moving forward with them, and possibly not even realizing that the energy that was being generated was actually pretty unstable, even at the time. And it may have felt really, really good and just like, oh yeah, like this is the thing for me, this is what I need to be doing, I'm on the right path. But all along, there was kind of this this devil energy. Let's take a look at the devil. It's like, even though it felt really good as you progressed into this, it actually ended up making you really unhappy. And maybe the energies around you were really happy, or when it all came together, there were moments of like, this is awesome, this feels so good. Or maybe this was a dream that you had, like an expectation of how things were going to go. And in your mind's eye, it looked really great, but then how it panned out, it's like, oh my God, like this does not make me feel good at all. It's looking like it took you a little bit of time to realize this. At first, it may have felt like, oh my God, like, is this it? Is this everything I've ever wished for? Is this everything I've ever dreamed of? You know, there's so much love, there's so much healing. It just, there was something about it that was like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. This is the dream. And then when these other energies come in, it's like there was something toxic that got mixed in there, and it didn't quite pan out the way that you were thinking it really needed to in order for you to feel fully confident in it. And that's why I see you having to kind of silence the chatter around you or step away from those other energies in order to reconnect with what it is that makes you feel good, and specifically what it is that you want for yourself. Once you kind of were in this situation and the energies were moving and you're experiencing, I see you really kind of reevaluating, okay, like, what am I actually getting out of this? And is this really fully what I want? Because at one point it did feel like, yes, this makes sense. This is what I want. This is the foundation that I want. This is the community that I want. Whatever it was like, this is it. This is the thing. And then again, we have this toxic energy that comes in, that something within all of this, I don't know if it was one person that you were interacting with, or maybe one event that happened, something happened, but it's like everything kind of shifts in the opposite direction of, okay, no, this is not working for me. This does not make me feel good. And you realize it consciously. It comes to as like this conscious realization of, this is not actually what I wanted. And it has to do with other people here, and possibly your ability to trust those other people, or how something with like reputation, or how it all comes out on the surface. And it specifically, it made you kind of doubt a connection or multiple connections that you felt confident in, and you start to kind of reconsider and say, okay, I think I need to make some type of decision here, or I need to take a closer look at this connection, because there's something about it that I'm not so sure if I can trust, or if I can have confidence in whatever this is. And yeah, it's like once you looked at it, you're like, oh my God, like what are we manifesting here? Like what is it that we are creating? And I see you making a specific judgment around the creation process of this, and saying, okay, something feels off, so there must be something that's off. And I see you kind of starting to bring that more into the fore, and making it be known. You started to tell people or express yourself, or someone started to express themselves and say, you know, even though this feels really good and feels really meaningful on one level, there's like a thorn in the haystack, there's a needle in the haystack, and I have pricked myself, you know. And so suddenly all of this stuff comes to light, whatever it was that was under the surface here that wasn't working. Let's take a look at that Four of Cups for what it was that wasn't working specifically. As soon as I said that, a card just came flying out. So Spirit's like, oh, I'm going to tell you what wasn't working. Whatever the energy was that was out there trying to come and meet you, so you come up as the King of Pentacles, so you're very stable, very solid, you know what you want, you know how you feel, and that's your kind of end of the energy. whoever the Queen of Pentacles was, so that other energy that was coming to meet you with that energy, there was this feeling of like you're never quite receiving the love or the care or the attention that you're giving out. And so there's an imbalance there. And over time, it really builds up. And I see you kind of feeling like this other energy opposite you is really guarded or kind of emotionally unavailable. Like they're just not able to freely give you their love for whatever reason. And I see that falling more on their side and you kind of realizing, okay, like this isn't going to work for me and it doesn't feel fulfilling, it doesn't feel happy, it doesn't feel like the dream that I have for myself. And that's why you had to kind of reconnect with your own dream of what it was that you wanted for the situation so that you could hold it up to the light and say, you know, am I getting what I wanted here? Like, am I manifesting what I really wanted? And so once you kind of realize, okay, fundamentally this other energy opposite me is not one that's going to be able to deliver, that's when you were able to start to say, wait a second, everyone, like, let's hold on. Let's back it up for a second because I'm not having my needs met. And it comes through as something pretty courageous. It probably wasn't super easy for you to step out here and say this isn't working for me because there was very much a flow going on with this and there was this feeling of yes, everything was working, and you may have even said to whoever was involved here like, yeah, this is great, this is working, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't anymore and you kind of had to face that. And I see you facing it very clearly, saying, you know what, we're not going to continue in this direction, this is too exhausting. As much as connected as I feel to all of this, I also feel disconnected. And you did not waste any time, you know, making that be known, which is good. All right, I do see you kind of closing out this situation and accepting it for what it is, you know, accepting it, saying, yeah, it's painful, I wish it didn't have to go this way, but I'm willing to deal with my feelings. It's natural to feel hurt when you end a connection. And so I see you kind of cutting this off and also recognizing, okay, I'm going to heal as well. I'm going to move through this. I'm going to consider this and just accept that it's over. It may be a little tricky. Like in your mind, you may kind of go over this and be like, you know, how did I let this go wrong? Or maybe I should have ended this sooner. And I see you just kind of reviewing everything and maybe being a little bit hard on yourself, saying, you know, oh, I should have caught this sooner or whatever. But whatever this was that came up for you, and it comes through as on someone else's energy. Like someone else has this blockage to their emotional availability and they were just not able to come to you with their full self, with their full heart. It's like someone else maybe was blocked off from their heart space and you just kind of encountered that, and you know, you're moving along, you're not seeing it because they're not showing it to you, and then one day they show it to you and you're like, oh crap, like this person is not emotionally available, or this person cannot show up, or whatever it is. And it comes through as quite painful to have that realization and to realize, you know, okay, like this connection isn't going to be what I thought it was going to be, and it's not everything that I wanted, you know. But I do see you ultimately accepting that, you know, and moving forward. I do see actually that when you cut off this one commitment, it actually brings in another commitment for you. It's like as soon as you end this, it opens up a lot of space for you to move forward and start building something else. And so it's almost like you waste no time. Like as soon as this one thing ends, your energy shifts and you're on to building what it is that you actually want for yourself and what's actually going to support your energy and move you closer to this dream that you have. And it's funny because the way it shows up, I see you kind of like say along the journey in your life, you're collecting these cups and each cup has something that you need for your journey. So one cup has food, and the other cup has water, and the other cup has a little bit of money, and the other cup has love, and so on and so forth. And each cup also can carry a lesson. And so I see you taking the lesson of this, filling your cup with that lesson and saying, you know what, I'm going to leave the rest of it behind. I've accepted the situation for what it is, and I'm just moving forward, and I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to build something else. And maybe a lot of you don't even know exactly specifically what it is that you're wanting to build, but I'm seeing very clearly here that your heart holds a dream. And as it's almost like you're shaving off everything that you don't need to reveal the true picture of what it is that you want. And so it kind of reminds me when Michelangelo was sculpting the David, and I hope it was Michelangelo because it's going to be embarrassing if it wasn't. But I'm pretty sure it was. It was Michelangelo that sculpted the David. But anyway, they say that when he saw the huge boulder that he carved the David out of, he could see the outline of the David in the rock. And all he had to do was chip away at the rock around the image that he saw to reveal exactly what he saw. And so he didn't even fully have like a plan or a sketch or any of that. He just went with his intuition and chipped away until it revealed the image that he saw inside the rock. And that's kind of the process that I see you on. You're like, okay, I don't know exactly what I'm going to end up with here, but I know what I don't need, and I know what's not working. And so as each thing that's not working reveals itself for you, you begin to chip away, and your vision becomes clearer and clearer and clearer to you, and eventually it manifests. So a really positive reading for you, Leo. I think this is really a testament to how you are learning to be true to yourself, and you're releasing any deception. You're kind of saying, you know what, if I can't trust it, if it's not going to show itself to me the way that David showed itself to Michelangelo, then it's not what I need, and I see you moving forward and rejecting certain energies and certain things in your life in order to make space for better energies. And ultimately, with the Nine of Cups on the bottom of the deck, I see you really moving to a lot of an energy of happiness and fulfillment and contentedness with yourself, because you understand, okay, it's okay if it doesn't work out with other people, because I'm on my own journey to my own happiness, and I can move forward on that journey in whatever way I need to. So a really great reading for you today, Leo. I hope this helps. I hope that it resonated, and I'll see you next time.